Grand rising, everyone. If you're here live, it's sometime in the morning. Welcome to our third and final morning of yoga for the spring 2025 virtual learning experience. So glad to have you here with us as we drop into this practice. So, as I've been inviting, many of you have been here throughout the week, and the invitation remains the same to bring in props to support your practice. I have a blanket underneath me, and that can be nice and supportive. I really do encourage a meditation cushion or a blanket underneath your sitting bones to help elevate your spine and bring you into some greater alignment in your system. If you have one or maybe two yoga blocks, that can be also supportive. We'll see the ways in which this might be useful in our practice. I always like to have them though, just in case um, my body is needing that. And I will invite us to begin in a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you, towards the back of your mat. So I'm just going to be here in the center of my mat facing you so that I can be speaking forward and you can see me with some clarity, but in your own space to shift to whatever the back of your space is going to be. So, and facing the front. So if you might be like this in your own space. So kind of somewhere towards the back, facing forward, just in a comfortable seat. Okay. So that's how you want to be set up. And again, coming into some sort of comfort within your own system as we start to just settle into our space and begin to gather yourself here. And whatever your day has brought you so far, just bringing a conscious intention to releasing all of that. Maybe your day has just started, maybe you've been at it for several hours. And here you are arriving in a new way into this moment and into your asana practice here this morning. And allowing your breath just to be easy. We're not trying to force it here in any way, but bringing a sense of awareness around how your body is breathing. Just getting in touch with the state and the movement and the quality of your breath. And some of us were chatting before our session here this morning on the ways in which we resource, the ways in which we support ourselves when life feels turbulent, when we feel out of our routine, when things get busy or they get hectic or stressful. And this can be the feeling, certainly when we're starting new things. So we might be starting a new semester and it's bringing new courses and it's bringing new assignments and new instructors and other students are coming together. And that's just within an academic space. And we also have other spaces within our lives, right? We have our personal space, our family life, we have our work and our career. And so, what are the ways in which you resource? And that could be coming here, gathering together to move our bodies and to flow with our breath. to ground into a yoga asana practice. It could be a meditation practice that you might have. And perhaps you enjoy going for walks. Maybe it's taking a warm bath at the end of the day. It could also be home cooking a meal that feels nourishing for you. Lots of ways in which we resource. And so just calling your mind into just what are some of those, how does that show up for you? Maybe it's a journaling practice or a regular gratitude. And we remind ourselves of these practices so that we can lean into them, hopefully with some regularity. So, not just when we feel, oh, life is a lot right now, but that this is something that can support us and we can be building that muscle for that practice that then feels like this is where I can ground my nervous system really when I need to. And I want to introduce you into a resonance breathing practice that could potentially be a resource for you. And it only just takes a minute or maybe a few minutes or however long actually that you want to devote to it. And so checking in again with your seat if you need to shift in any way to feel comfortable. And I really invite you to be in a way where you can have space in your torso. So sitting can be nice for this. You can also do it lying down. Um, so let's take a cleansing breath in first while I explain this practice. So inhale through your nose, exhale, letting it go. And then I'll guide us through this practice. We're going to inhale for a count of 4. We'll hold the breath for a count of 7. And then we'll exhale slowly through the mouth, like you're blowing through a straw or blowing out candles on a birthday cake, nice and slow for 8 seconds. And I'll guide us through this. Okay, so emptying out totally, empty completely the breath. And then breathing in through your nose for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale through your nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Retain the breath. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale slowly through your mouth. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Antada Kumbhaka, retention of the breath. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow releasing exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now allowing your breath to return to its natural rate and rhythm, and just noticing the effects of that. With just 3 rounds of that resonant breath, how it can create a shift in your state of mind and your state of body. And then coming back into the space, I invite everyone at this time now to come into a seat if you're not there already. And we'll just start to take some gentle neck rolls. So dropping your right ear to your right shoulder, rolling your chin down towards your chest, bringing left ear to left shoulder, dropping your head back. Some nice gentle neck rolls here. And taking your time. You might hear some crunching. This is the fascia, the web that connects our muscles and tissues, and actually even connects into our bones. This fascia is breaking apart in a good way and switching directions. We're releasing and bringing some lubrication into the muscles and the fascia. Continuing to breathe here as well, letting your breath be slow and wide. And we'll bring your head back up to center. And hands, palms facing down, come to your knees. As you inhale, pulling your heart forward, lifting up, arcing through your back. Exhale, pressing your knees away, rounding through your spine, drawing your chin towards your chest. Gentle seated cat and cows here as you inhale, pulling yourself forward, drawing your elbows back in space. Chin can lift up. Exhale, rounding deeply, pressing into your knees, tilting your tailbone underneath your seat. Inhale, pulling forward, tailbone sweeps back, pelvis tilting forward like you're pouring water out of your pelvis. And exhale, rounding deeply, drawing your pubic bone in towards your navel. And just take one more here, using your breath, letting that guide your movement. And then we'll come back to center, feeling length in your spine, rooted down through your sit bones and elongating your crown up towards the sky, finding length here. Fingertips can be on either side of your hips. As you inhale, slowly releasing your fingers up towards the sky, reaching up. And then with your exhale, right fingertips come down. We side bend over towards the right, reaching long through your side body here, rooted in your left sit bone. As you inhale, spiraling your heart open towards the sky, and exhale, feeling your side bend here, breathing length into the entire left side of your body. Inhale brings you back up to center, both hands reaching up. Exhale, side bending over towards the other side, rooting down through your right sit bone as you inhale, spiraling your heart towards the sky. And exhale, feeling your twist or your side bend rather. Your next inhale can draw you back up to center. And then as you exhale, rolling over your knees, and we're going to come into a child's pose. So now we're all at the back of our mat. So big toes together, knees can be wide to the edges of the mat, and melting your heart forward, fingertips reaching long overhead. Forehead soft into the mat. Just letting yourself breathe into the entire space of your lungs. And then slowly starting to pull yourself forward, coming onto your belly, legs long out on the mat, untucking your toes. And your feet can be hip width distance, or taking your feet wide to the corners of your mat can give some more space in your lower back. Releasing your chest down to the earth, we're going to reach our fingertips out beyond the corners of our mat. So nice and wide. Room for your shoulders here. Tented fingers. We're on spider fingers here. Forehead down to the mat. As you inhale, starting to wave up your spine. Coming up, lifting your gaze. And exhale, waving all the way back down, low ribs, chest, forehead to the mat. And maybe you scoot your fingers in a little bit closer so you can give yourself some lift here. We're going to do this a few more times. Rooting down through the tops of your feet, pressing into your pubic bone. As you inhale, pulling yourself all the way up, waving vertebrae by vertebrae. Coming up, waving through your spine here. As you exhale, slowly lowering down. And one more time, just like that, nice and slow. As you inhale, like someone's pulling a string on the back of your heart to lift you up. And then exhale, lowering all the way back down. And then we'll bring our forearms into a number 11. Elbows are directly underneath our shoulders here. Index fingers pointing directly forward, splaying through all 10 fingers. So in a Sphinx pose here. And then drawing your right knee up. So your knee is directly out from your hip socket and your shin is parallel to the right edge of your mat, flexing through your right toes. So finding a half frog here. As you inhale, pulling your heart forward and up. With your exhale, softening the front of your right hip in towards the mat. Breathing here. Softening where you can soften. And then with your right hand, scooting it forward about a handprint or two so that you can press up, straightening through your right arm. And then you're going to thread your right hand underneath. So threading your arm underneath your right armpit, and we can lower down onto the left shoulder. And we're coming into a twist here. So as you inhale, then your right fingertips sweep up towards the sky and open up. So your arms are going to become in a letter T here. And as you roll open, your right knee might slide towards your body a little bit just to give yourself some space here. And this can be a beautiful opportunity if you do have a yoga block that you can place the block underneath your right knee or on the outside of your right, or the inside rather, of your right shin. We're in our twist here. As you inhale, widening through your collarbones. And as you exhale, seeing if you can soften both shoulder blades down in towards the earth. Your gaze can be up towards the ceiling, or maybe if it feels okay on your neck, to gaze out over the right fingertips. Just in our gentle twist here. With each inhale, feeling your lungs and your rib cage expand. And as you exhale, softening, releasing. And slowly starting to come out the way that we came in. So your right fingertips are going to come up towards the sky. We're going to close our arms like a clamshell. And then tenting your right fingers down, you're going to press yourself up so you can unthread your left arm. We come back into a Sphinx, right leg long out onto the mat. Let's just take a pause here to root down through your pubic bone, pressing into the mat. Inhale, pulling your heart through the doorway of your arms. Take an exhale. And now moving to the other side, we're going to bring our left knee up so our shin is parallel to the edge of the mat. And before we twist, we're going to stay here as you inhale, again, pulling your heart forward, lifting your gaze, but keeping the back of your neck long. And then as you exhale, softening the front of your left hip down in towards the mat. Breathing into the space within your hips here. And now from here, we're going to scoot our left palm forward and then straighten through the arm to lift yourself up enough so that you can then thread your right arm underneath, coming to the outside of your right shoulder. From here, as you inhale, opening up, left palm releasing to the earth, arms are in a T. Now making some subtle shifts here. Maybe your left knee can kind of come back towards your body so you can stack your hips here. So left hip is stacked directly over the right hip. Can bring a block underneath your knee, maybe the shin, just to bring some support. As you inhale, expanding through your chest. Exhale, softening into your twist. And gaze can be wherever feels most comfortable for your neck. Take one more full and spacious inhale. Sending the breath out of your body, releasing any tension with it. And then we'll start to close our arms like a clamshell, coming out the way that we came in, unwinding. Forearms in a number 11. Again, we find our Sphinx pose. Just one more time as you inhale, lifting forward, isometrically drawing your elbows towards your waist. And full exhale. And then we'll press ourselves up, so tucking your toes. And then we're going to come into a tabletop position here. An option if you want to bring a yoga blanket underneath your knees for a little support. We're not doing a ton of knee down work, but it can certainly be nice to have that support. Why deny ourselves of the resource when it's available to us? Wrists are directly under shoulders, knees directly under hips, toes can be tucked or untucked. As you inhale, dropping your belly, lifting your gaze, tailbone points up towards the sky. Exhale, rounding deeply, protracting through your shoulders, hugging into center. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts, armpits are hugging towards your waist for a cow pose. Exhale, rounding deeply through your spine, cat. And one more time like this, undulating through the spine, working out the kinks. And then we'll find a neutral spine here. So we never have a flat back, as our back naturally has a lumbar and thoracic curve to it. So we're just coming into neutral where we're not dumping forward in the hips or rounding too much here. So nice and neutral. Left arm reaches forward, right leg reaches back directly out of our hip socket, toes pointing down towards the earth. Take an inhale to find some length here. And then as you exhale, we're hugging it in, making contact elbow to knee. So just waking up the core here a little bit, feeling into our stability. Inhale, extend, reaching long. Exhale, drawing everything together, elbow to knee. One more time. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. We inhale to extend. Exhale, lowering down, all fours. Right arm comes out in front. Thumb facing up towards the ceiling. Left leg directly out from our pelvis. Take an inhale to reach long, breathing length into your body. Exhale, hugging it in, elbow to knee. Going nice and slow here. Inhale, extend. Exhale, contract. One more time. Inhale, extending long. Exhale, bringing it in, elbow to knee. Inhale, extending, finding length here. And then exhale, lowering everything down, tucking the toes. And then we'll send our hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Adjusting your stance here. So maybe walking your hands forward a handprint or your feet back to find your downward facing dog, gripping firmly into the mat with your finger pads. Feet are hip width distance. Knees slightly bent here, sit bones widening towards the sky. Knitting in your front ribs while also drawing your shoulders down and away from your ears. Breathing here, nice full inhale. Exhale any way that feels releasing for you. And then bringing your big toes together at the back of the mat. Let's inhale, rising high on the balls of our feet, and then exhale, drawing your heels down towards the earth. Grounding down through your left heel, inhale, sweep your right heel up to the sky, three-legged down dog. As you exhale, leveling your pelvis here, so dropping your right hip in line with your left. Bending at your knee, draw your heel towards your seat. As you inhale, open up your hips. So grounding down through your left heel, we can open up. And then as you exhale, now drawing your right shoulder in line with your left so we can isolate this into the hips and take some knee circles here if that feels good. Just letting yourself open up, feel into the right hip. And then straightening again through your right leg, three-legged down dog. As you inhale, rise high on the ball of your left foot. Exhale, drawing your knee towards your nose, pausing for a moment, and then we'll step your foot next to your right thumb. So we're here in a low crescent lunge here, high on the ball of your back foot, planting down through your left hand. As you inhale, slowly opening up for an easy twist, right fingertips towards the sky. As you inhale, broadening through your collarbones, shoulder blades draw together. Exhale here. One more inhale to open up. And then as you exhale, planting your hand, framing your front foot. Toning your low belly in and up. We magnetize through our core here. As you inhale, slowly lifting your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, driving your front knee forward. We find our high crescent lunge. Take an inhale to lift up out of your waist. And then exhale, twisting open towards the right. Right hand back behind us, left arm reaching forward. And shifting your shoulders so that they're directly over your hips. Deeply bent in your front knee. Take one breath here. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, sweeping your right arm forward and up high, crescent lunge. Exhale, planting your hands, framing your front foot. We drop our back knee down to the blanket or the mat. Untuck your back toes. Bring your right hand on the inside of your right foot. Wiggle walk your right foot out to the edge or maybe even off of your mat. We're coming into our lizard lunge here. So this can be a great place for 1 or 2 blocks. As you inhale, finding lift here, pulling your heart forward. With your exhale, we lower down. So we can stay on our hands here, or we can come down to forearms, either on the mat or on a block. And however you're choosing to be, let your right knee open up laterally to the right. And softening through your forehead, releasing your jaw, letting your breath be slow and steady, sending the prana, your life force, your breath into any places that feel tight or tense. We hold a lot in our hips here, physical tension, but it's also where a lot of emotions get stored as well. As you inhale, expanding through your lungs, breathing space into your body. And as you exhale, letting something go. With your next inhale, slowly starting to bring yourself back up. And then with your exhale, we're straightening through our front leg, flexing your toes towards your face for a half split. As you inhale, wave your spine long. Exhale, releasing forward, letting the crown of your head hang heavy, releasing through the back of your neck. Inhale, slowly start to rebend through your front knee, framing your front foot. Press down through both of your hands to lift your back knee, and then step back into a plank. Straight arms, straight leg plank. Wrists are directly under shoulders. As you inhale, shifting your weight forward. And then exhale, we'll press up and back, downward facing dog. We'll bring our big toes together at the back of the mat once more. As you inhale, lifting your left heel up and back. As you exhale, leveling off your pelvis. And one way to know that you're leveling your pelvis is to look back and see that all 5 toes are pointed directly down towards the earth. Bending in your knee, draw your heel towards your seat. Open up your hips here. As you open up your hip, also then draw your left shoulder in line with your right, grounding down through your right heel for some stability and balance here. If you took some knee circles on the other side, feel free to do that here as well. Just opening up through the left side of your pelvis. And then straightening through your left leg as you inhale, rising high on the ball of your right foot. Exhale, rounding deeply through your shoulders, drawing your knee to your nose. Pause, feeling our core here. And then bringing your left foot to the inside of your left thumb. Hands are framing your foot here, feeling your balance, drawing your navel towards your spine. Inhale, slowly coming on up, high crescent lunge. High on the ball of the back foot, deeply bent through your front knee. Exhale, softening your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a full breath here. And then as we exhale, we'll open up towards the left for a twist. Right fingertips reaching forward, left hand reaching back behind us. Shifting your shoulders so they're directly over your hips. Find one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, spinning down, did not forget our easy twist. We're just doing it in a different order here. Planting down through your right hand. And then opening up as you inhale, left fingertips towards the sky, shoulder blades drawing together. Breathing here in your easy twist. One more inhale to open up through your wings. And exhale, planting your hands, framing your front foot. We'll drop your back knee down. And then bring both hands on the inside of your left foot. Wiggle walk your left foot to the edge of your mat or even slightly off. as we find our lizard lunge here. Back toes can be tucked or untucked, whatever feels comfortable for you. As you inhale, pulling your heart forward, lifting your gaze. With your exhale, lowering down any amount. You can remain high on your hands, or maybe bringing your forearms to a block, or maybe down towards the mat. Letting your left knee open up laterally, rolling on to the blade edge side of your foot. Steady through your breath, re-relaxing in your jaw. What are the ways that you might be resourcing in this moment? If you feel any amount of intensity, what are the ways in which you resource? Likely with the breath, right? That's our most accessible resource. Focusing the mind on the breath. And then slowly starting to walk yourself up and out of your lizard. You can wiggle walk your foot back onto the mat if it was off. And then we'll shift our hips back for a half split. Left toes are active and flexed towards your face. As you inhale, breathe length into your spine, grow long. And then with your exhale, releasing forward, drawing your left hip back in space, right hip forward, noticing how that activates and awakens the backside of your body, the hamstrings. And then planting your left foot, rebend through your knee. Bring our hands forward to the front of our mat. Tucking your back toes, lifting your knee, and we step back into plank just for a moment. Let's inhale, shifting your weight forward, and then exhale, downward facing dog. And then from here, slowly starting to walk your hands back towards your feet. So we're going to come into a forward fold at the back of the mat. Feet are hip width distance or wider, interlacing your hands at your elbows, and then just let yourself hang here. Releasing the top of your head towards the earth. Take a gentle sway from side to side. You can bend in one knee and then the other. Just letting this feel good in your low back. Letting gravity have your body here. Nice bend in your knees so you can really let this opening happen in your lower back and your hamstrings. And planting your hands down onto the earth. Palms come to your shins or your thighs as you inhale, reaching your head long, widening through your sit bones, halfway lift. Exhale, deep bend in your knees. Tailbone gets heavy as you start to wave up your spine, bone by bone. Head is the last to rise. As you inhale, sweeping your arms up overhead. And then exhale, folding forward, hinging at your hips. We walk ourselves all the way back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, rise high to the balls of your feet, look between your hands. And you can walk or jump. We're going to come into a sit or a seat towards the front of the mat. Once you get there, lowering down, coming into a seat here. And we're going to bring our left shin forward and then spin our right leg back, coming into a Z sit or a 90-90 with our legs. So front shin is parallel towards the front of the mat. Your other shin is then parallel to the side edge of your mat, flexing through both toes here. And just taking a gentle rock forward and back of the pelvis. So shifting your weight back, and then we bring our weight forward. So just some nice rocking here through your pelvis. And then we'll come back into center, and you can remain here like this, just upright. Or if you'd like to slowly walk your fingers forward, folding over your front shin. And this can be a really wonderful place as well to bring one or even two blocks to rest your forehead down. Seeing where you can find a little bit more ease. Continuing to send your breath into the places where you're feeling sensation. And inviting a conscious opening. And sometimes it feels that we actually have so many resources available to us to support us in the regular day to day, as well as during the times that feel a bit more challenging. But the key is to remember what those resources are and then to bring them in and to use them. So slowly starting to press yourself out, coming back upright. And you can swing your back leg around, and we're just going to switch out sides. So right shin will come forward parallel to the front edge of the mat. Left leg now out to the side. Left femur bone is directly out from our pelvis, so kind of perpendicular to us here. And we'll just start to begin with some of those gentle pelvic rolls forward and back. Letting your weight shift forward. And then we feel the pelvic rim tipping back. Both feet are nice and active and flexed here because we want to be protecting through our knee joint. And when you feel good with that, we'll come back to center. First, take an inhale to find lots of length in your spine. And then as you exhale, staying upright as you are, or starting to walk your fingertips forward, and you can fold over your front shin. It's coming down onto forearms, maybe placing one or two blocks underneath your forehead to make this a bit more of a restorative experience. Letting everything settle down here. And as we talk about the ways in which we resource ourselves, letting this not be something that feels so overwhelming. Sometimes it can feel that there's so many tools that I have, or maybe there's just so many things that I want to be able to do or should be doing. We find ourselves a lot in this place of shoulds. So releasing into that and instead feeling what is the heart needing? What is the heart wanting? Without it having to be some grandiose gesture, but could be as simple as taking 1 or 2 minutes to drop into that resonance breath that we practiced at the beginning of our session, that 4-7-8 breathing pattern. Or maybe it's 90 seconds after you wake up in the morning to meditate on something you feel grateful for. And then slowly starting to press yourself back up. And we'll come out of our V sit here, swing your back leg around, and then we'll lengthen both legs out long onto the mat, reaching out through your heels. Toes are flexing towards your face. Take an inhale here, rooting down through your sit bones to grow tall in your spine. And then with your exhale, slowly folding forward. Another great place for your block here if you want to bring it on top of your shins and just rest your forehead down. And we find ways in which we can release. We notice ways in which we're holding strain unnecessarily. And then slowly starting to bring yourself back upright. And then likely scooting your hips forward a little bit so you can lower down onto your back. And let's just take one bridge pose here to kind of rinse out through the spine and bring just a little bit of a back bend here to our forward folding. So heels can scooch towards your sitting bones, standing your knees towards the sky, arms reaching out long to your sides, maybe even brushing the backs of your heels with your fingertips. Pressing down into your feet, firming down through your arms. As you inhale, slowly lifting your hips up towards the sky, pulling your thighs towards your knees. Exhale, slowly lowering down bone by bone. Two more times, just like that, using your own breath as you inhale, firming down to begin reaching your hips up towards the sky, opening up through your collarbones. Exhale, lowering down. Last time. Inhale, slowly lifting up, tailbone pointing between your knees. Shoulder heads drawing down and back. Exhale, slowly lowering down. And then drawing your knees towards your armpits, reaching through, grabbing for the blade edges of your feet or your ankles or your outer shins to find happy baby, stamping the soles of your feet onto the sky. Could maybe take a gentle rock from side to side, just a gentle massage on your lower lumbar spine here. Breathing. And then from here, if there's any other final pose that your body is wanting, maybe coming into a legs up the wall for a little while, or absolutely anything, what would feel good here, take that now. And if you're feeling complete, we can start to make our way into Shavasana, our final resting pose. And if that's where you're headed, just take your legs long out onto the mat. Inhale, reaching your arms up overhead. Take a nice, great big morning stretch. And then with your exhale, let everything release down into the mat. Giving yourself permission to take up space here. Giving yourself permission to simply just be without without having to do anything else. And for these next few moments, savoring the stillness. Savoring this place of integration. And noticing if the mind is already starting to do its thing about thinking and planning of what's happening next. Just encouraging it just so ever so kindly to let that go and come back into the awareness of your body lying right here. and being with the sound of your own environment and the sound of your own breath. Allowing some natural organic movement to come back into your body, and gently rocking your head from side to side, wiggling your fingers, moving your toes. And then one more time as you take an inhale, reaching your arms long up overhead, finding a nice full stretch here. And then with your exhale, drawing in one knee and then the other in towards your chest, give yourself a little squeeze. And gently rocking from side to side and letting gravity carry you over to one side. And whichever side you come to, using your bicep as a pillow and planting the other hand on the earth in front of your heart. Take one inhale here into the back of your heart, back of your lungs. And as you exhale, imagining great giant angel wings emerging from your back and wrapping around you in a supportive hug. And then in your own time and in your own way, starting to press yourself back up to a comfortable seat. Or you can stay just as you are and remain in this state as long as you like. But we'll close our practice together. As you inhale, sweeping your fingers from the earth all the way up to the heavens. Exhale, drawing your hands to prayer in front of your heart, Anjali Mudra. And we'll close the practice with the sound of Om, and feel free to join along in your own space or just listen and hold it in your heart. Let's take a cleansing breath in through your nose. Exhaling through your mouth, washing it out. And inhaling for your Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Bringing your thumbs to third eye center, space between your brow. May I see my truth. Bringing your thumbs to your lips. May I speak my truth. Bringing your thumbs back down to your brave and beautiful heart. May I feel my truth. And then bowing the wisdom of your mind to the knowing of your heart. The divine spark in me honors, cherishes, and loves the divine spark in each and every one of you. And thank you all so much for your presence here this morning and through the week. Some of you have been here all week for our morning yoga. Tomorrow morning, which is Friday, Dr. Carlos Santo will be leading a Tai Chi session, which I actually understand will be more of a Qigong session. And mindful movement practice is what it will be. So thank you all so much. I hope you continue enjoying anything else that you might be participating in for the virtual learning experience. And until next time,